I've always gotten a question, how long did it take you to get to where you are today? And honestly, like I thought it was way too long. If I could have cut out some of the time, it would have been better. But my expectations versus reality is what we're going to talk about today because you have to be realistic with yourself and where you are currently at the beginning of your dance journey and where you want to eventually be. What's up, beautiful dancers? Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome to my channel, Black to Ballroom. I'm your girl, Crystal, here to give you the inside scoop on everything you need to know in order to make your ballroom journey successful. And today we're going to talk about how to move on up from bronze to gold and what our expectations are versus reality. Okay, because everybody wants to go for the gold. Everybody wants to do better. Everybody wants to progress. But really, like, how fast should this take us? And like, what should we expect out of this journey? If you're like me, you probably want to go into it and say, okay, let's get this checklist going. What can I do as a beginner to make sure that I make the most efficient steps, most efficient training program, if there is such a thing, to make sure that I can excel to the highest level as quickly as possible, right? That's kind of like a, if everything was perfect, what it would look like. But it's not, because everybody's different. Everybody is, we've had different beginnings. We've had different backgrounds when it comes to dancing. So we have to think about those. And there's so many ways you can look at this and how to progress. And I'm sure there's people who out there with just like pure born dumb luck talent and they got it. But it took me about 4 years competing, 5 years in training. But it did, I think for me, I think it was a little bit, I was pretty driven on getting where I wanted to go in a certain amount of time. So with that being said, number one, experience. If you started dancing when you came out of the womb, more than likely, the way that you train and the way that you compete and your ability to do certain things will be a lot easier than someone who started when they were an adult, right? So if you have previous dance background, if you've taken lessons in the past and you're familiar with the steps, if you studied anything like that, that might have helped you. If you were in some kind of performance team, theater, anything like that, that will help you with your performance aspect side, dance, choreography, things like that. But if you have zero dance experience, zero knowledge of dancing, competing, or what it takes, basic steps, anything like that, then it's probably going to take a little bit longer, right? And that's okay. That's okay. We got to start from somewhere. You got to learn how to crawl before you can walk, right? So you got to learn those basic steps. Make sure you master those steps before you can go out and say, I want to go for the gold. Number two, okay? I'm going to say a balance between the physical and the mental, okay? Because your mind can take you so far, right? I believe in the power of will. If you will it, if you truly put that out there and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm driven to do this. This is what I want to do. Then that'll definitely take you very far, because the mind is a strong thing, right? So, but also the physical, like, are you physically able to do this? And don't get me wrong, like me now, I say I started at a later age, I don't recover the same. So if I would have started younger, I think that certain things like my, elongation of legs would have came a lot faster, maybe. But if you haven't done those things growing up, or you haven't trained those things, those are things you have to now train your body to do. So sometimes it's going to push you outside of a comfort zone, and we don't want you to hurt yourself. So just make sure that you think about the physical and the mental and take care of your body, take care of your mind, and make sure you are in the right place with your body and able to execute the steps, as they should be done. So that's kind of another thing that you should really think about when it comes to how quickly I want to progress and how quickly I expect to progress. You have to be patient with your body. I have to be patient with mine, and just realize it might take a little bit of time to get those steps and that level of quality. Number 3, we got to think about lessons, right? So with that is like, how many lessons are you taking a week, a month? How many? And that's also dealing with your pockets too, because lessons, equal money, right? So you have to think about how much are you willing to spend in order to excel your progress. YouTube can only get you so far, because I know YouTube University, a lot of people think that they can do a lot from that, but really having that one-on-one in-person instructor to help show you how things should be done, how things should be executed, because watching it on a screen and then having someone show you exactly what muscles you should be feeling at what time and how your body should be turned is completely different, believe me. Okay, so the number of lessons and the quality of lessons that you get is also very important when it comes to your progression in ballroom. And I'm not saying just dump your wallet out at the studio and say, hey, just make me better, because a lot of that also deals with number 4, how much you practice at home on your own. Because if you're just throwing money at lessons and then you're like, man, 10 years later, I still feel like I'm doing the same exact thing, is because you're probably not making time to go home and reinforce what you've learned in those lessons, right? So you got to think about that. So let's try to make the most out of your money. Let's get the biggest bang for your buck, and then try to schedule lessons and then go home and do your homework, because that will help you progress a lot. If you go home and you do your homework, you come back to the studio, you're not constantly reviewing everything that you learned in the last class or in the last lesson. I mean, it's going to be just a relief to you how fast you'll move on, and a relief to your instructor. Believe me, they will appreciate you for practicing and doing your homework. So number 5, the number of competitions. But let me say this. So number 5, with competing and trying to excel from bronze to gold, doesn't just come with that one step. It's not just, oh, I've competed over 100 times, so now I should be in level gold, right? It has to do with steps 1 through 4, your experience, your lessons, your time that you're practicing on your own, and the physical and mental all kind of contribute to how you execute at each of those competitions, right? And the more you do them, the more you know how to navigate, the more you're not as nervous anymore, and you kind of know what you're up against. So that being said, the more you compete, the better chances, right? Like, get out there and compete. You want to get your feet wet. You want to try to start somewhere. And even if that's bronze, and you stay in bronze for I don't know how many years, but your instructor's job is to really like groom you and tailor you to put you in the level that you're supposed to be at. Now, I wouldn't say, don't stay at a level too long just so it's an easy win, but you want to make sure that you're at the right level so that you can actually execute at what that level is expecting, and then actually try to win, right? So with that being said, don't put too much pressure on trying to excel quickly, okay? I know it's hard. Believe me, I am not the best with patience as well. I just want to get to the finish line, right? I just want to get there. I want to be like, just make me better. Just make me better. And I know a lot of people think like that, but just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, because believe me, I watched videos when I first started doing the waltz or a foxtrot, and I look at how much I've grown over the years, and you truly appreciate it. And you're like, you know what? It was worth it. And my instructor knew where I should have been at that point in my life. So trust the journey. Try not to compare yourself too much to other people, and just really try to focus on your art, your talent, and where you want to be, and then work with your instructor and try to make that happen. Okay, so thank you. If you like what I had to say today, please remember to like and subscribe, and give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think, because I want to know, like, what do you expect out of your dance journey? Okay, what are your goals? What are you doing to try to excel? Like, maybe that can help other people. So go ahead, like and comment and subscribe if you like what I had to say. And until next time, bye.